Hello everyone, welcome back to another lesson of net present value. In this video, we are going to talk about an example of net present value and how to calculate. Assuming for machine B, we will need to invest a balance of 310,000. And in additional to initial investment, we also need to pay £15,000 of Facebook advertisement per year. By using this strategy, this project will help to generate a cash flow fluctuating from 125,000 to 140,000. Calculate the net cash flow, we simply subtract the cash in of 125,000, for example, by the cash out of 15,000, then this will give us the answer for the net cash flow. And for this question, assuming the discount factor is 10%, then what is the value of the net present value? In addition, compared to the machine in the last video, which machine generates a better NPV? In order to calculate the NPV, we will need to draw a bigger table. The first column to the left counts the number of years, and the second column counts the total amount of cash outflow. So for the year 0, which is today, we have a cash outflow of investment values 310,000 for the machine B. And every year we are planning to spend £15,000 to invest in the Facebook advertisement for the machine B. The third column shows the amount of cash inflow. So in this case, it will fluctuate between 125,000 and up to 140,000. Calculate the net cash flow, we simply add the cash in to and subtract it by the cash out. So for the year 0, which is today, we don't have any cash inflow, which is 0, but we have a cash outflow of 310,000 for the initial investment. In this case, it leaves us with a negative 310,000 for the net cash flow. Remember, in accounting and finance term, if there is a bracket or parenthesis, then that means it's a negative figure. For the year 1, the cash inflow is 125,000, and then the cash outflow is £15,000. For the net cash flow of the year 1, we subtract 125,000 by the 15,000. It gives us 110,000. And to calculate for the discount factor, for the year 0, which is today, we do not make any discount. So our initial investment of 310,000 remain 100% of the 310,000. So 100%, another way of writing it is equals to 1. For the discounting factor of the it is this 100%, or the number 1 here divided by 1 plus the interest rate, which is 10%. So 1 divided by 1.1, you will get 0.91. As the money in the future will worth less than the money today, in this case, when we apply the discounting factor to the net cash flow of 110,000, it becomes a present value of 100,100 pounds. For the year 2, the cash inflow is 127,000 minus the 15,000 cash outflow. This will give you a net cash flow of 112,000. Again, to calculate the discount factor, we take the discount factor of year 1 and we divide by 1.1, which is 1 plus the 10% of the interest rate. And this should give us a present value of 92.96 thousand. For the year 3, the cash inflow is 140,000 minus the cash outflow of £15,000. Then this will give us 125,000 for year 3 and year 4. Now the discounting factor for year 3 is the discounting factor of year 2 divided by 1.1. And if we multiply 125,000 by 0.75, then this will get a present value for the year 3 as 93.75 thousand. Similarly, for the year 4, we will take the discounting factor from the year 3 divided by 1.1, then this will give us a 0.68 for the discount factor. We multiply the 0.68 discount factor by the net cash flow of 125,000, then this will give us a present value of £85,000. For year 5, the cash inflow is 130,000 and we need to pay Facebook advertisement expenses of £15,000. So the net cash flow that we will receive is £115,000. Again, to calculate for the discount factor of year 5, we take the discount factor of year 4 and we divide by 1.1. Then this will give us a discount factor of 0.62. We multiply this 0.62 discount factor by the 115,000 net cash flow, then this will give us a net present value of 71.3 thousand. The last step to calculate the net present value is to sum up all of the present value for each year. If we add them together, then this will give us an answer of positive 133.11 thousand for the net present value. Compare the present value of the machine B, which is 133.11 thousand, with the net present value of machine A. Then in this slide, you will see that the machine A has a net present value of 81.875 thousand. This 81.875 thousand is the answer that we get from the previous video. Since the net present value of the machine B is bigger than the net present value of machine A, therefore we conclude that the machine B is a better investment in terms of net present value method. Summarize, to calculate the net present value, we take the present value of inflow for each year and we subtract it with the initial investment. If the net present value is equals to 0, then that means the cash flow that we generated has just enough money to cover the initial investment, and that is already taken into the consideration of the interest rate or the inflation rate. The present value tells the net gain of the shareholder's wealth. In this case, if a present value is a positive, then that means the project is profitable. Then generally we should accept the project because the project will generate additional wealth for the shareholder. However, if the net present value is a negative figure, then that means investing in that project will lose money in total. And in this case, then we should reject to invest in that project. See from this and the previous video, the advantage of the net present value is that it takes into the consideration of the whole life of the investment. It also takes into the consideration of the net cash flow, the time value of money, the interest rate, the inflation rate, and also the opportunity cost. Now, hopefully you will feel that the disadvantage of the MPV method is that it's relatively complex and technical to calculate. Also, it will also be slightly difficult or challenging to explain to somebody who are not accounting or finance major. Another challenge for the net present value is that it's relatively difficult or challenging to find an accurate discount factor for the future. The main reason is because nobody is able to accurately predict what the future will happen every year. Hopefully by now, students will have very good understanding of the net present value and able to calculate them to evaluate for the projects and investments. For now, many thanks once again for watching this video, and I will see you in next one.